Talk to him, yellow. 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 They told me talk to him, so that's what I'ma do. Give it to him raw. Yellow, spit that truth. Going hard with it. Watch what I'ma do. Let them know it's real. Homie, we talking shoot. They told me talk to him, so that's what I'ma do. Give it to him raw. Yellow, spit that truth. Going hard with it. Watch what I'ma do. Let them know it's real. Homie, we talking shoot. What's up, all my homies out there? Welcome back to another episode of Talk and Shoot. I'm your host, Yellow Man, and today I got a very special guest, a guy that means a lot to me, my brother, my tag team partner always. I don't care if he got 15 of them. That's my tag team partner, my brother, one half of the Young Lions, Mr. Lionheart himself, Chase Bennett. Chase, man, what's up with you, brother? How you been?
Man, good. Staying busy. Staying on the road a lot too. The miles are real and they're starting to add up.
Yeah, facts. What's been going on though in the world of professional wrestling with Chase Bennett? Tell me what's up, man.
Well, I mean, 2025 was a good year for me. As far as like just championships, getting to travel, getting to wrestle really good opponents. It was a good year. I sat back for a little bit. I reflected on it. PWL champion, NICW heavyweight champion, Mega Tag Team Champion, TWA Tag Team Champion, APW Tag Team Champion. It was a good year. And I sat and I thought, I was like, man, that's a really cool year. Man, 2026, I really got to step it up if I plan on like really, leveling up. So I kind of started the year off hot. I got my stuff with APW going on. Got a lot of really cool stuff coming down the pipe as far as Mega. Got into a couple new places. It's basically 2026 feels like it's becoming the United States World Tour for me, I guess, or United States Tour. I already have bookings in Ohio, Kentucky, here at home, Virginia, North Carolina, a new one. I'm set to make my debut for Pro Wrestling King in Indiana and a couple spots in Missouri as well. So, just staying busy, staying on the road, staying after it. The grind is the journey's free, but the grind, it takes a lot of work to get where you want to go, and I'm just trying to get there.
Definitely, man. And like I say, bro, we go back ever since day one. I first met you. We was tight. We kicked it. We got many Yellow Man Chase Bennett stories. You know what I'm saying? Like we could go on for weeks talking about that stuff. But man, I'm sure everybody wants to know, man, what made you want to get into pro wrestling? How'd your journey start, man?
I've always been an athlete. That was really kind of the start for me. I was a multi-sport athlete, decorated amateur wrestler in the state of West Virginia, state place winner, state champion, national place winner. After the first run at college, I sat and I thought, okay, what can I do to, keep the being a professional athlete dream alive? So I went the route of playing semi-professional football. Played for a team in Ironton, Ohio. It is home to me. The great state of Ohio is naturally, home to me. But after an injury right before COVID, everything shut down. So I was sitting there thinking, what can I do next to kind of keep this thing going? And I've been a lifelong wrestling fan. Some of my fondest memories was sitting at my grandparents' house with my grandfather back in the day when, it was floor model TVs and the TNT like broadcast would kick on. You'd see the big explosion. And
Yeah.
I and seeing Sting come down from the Raptors. I always thought that stuff was cool, and I was like, I kind of want to, give my shot at it. I was like, I wonder if I'd be any good at this. Um, I was probably 11 or 12. No, probably 13. I was at a gym here in my hometown of St. Albans, and Chance Prophet was wrestling for XMCW at the time. And I met him and a couple of those guys, a young Jason Kincaid, Alan Lynch, those guys. And I thought it was really cool. Well, after my football career kind of, COVID killed it off, I was like, I started looking online for pro wrestling schools. I was like, well, obviously, if I'm going to do this, I got to be trained. And I saw that Chance Prophet had a school literally one town over from me, and I had reached out to him about a tryout. Tried out. He was supposed to get back to me. He had like a loss in the family or something. So I went a week without hearing from him. And I honestly thought, I was like, wow, man, I'm a suck or something. So I reached out to him. He's like, no, man, come on back. Training's on Tuesday. And I ended up going in, started training, and I've never looked back since, really.
Definitely, man. Hey, bro, like I said, bro, we've been opponents, we've been partners. You one of my favorite both. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Jason Kincaid and Chance Prophet too, man. Those guys, they've done a lot for me too, personally. Chance Prophet's just always been a sweet guy. He's a man of the Lord. And I love that about him. And I love how much he gives back. And same with Jason Kincaid, man. I'm always calling him Master Yoda. You know what I'm saying? That's my dog right there.
Yeah. So both of those two, they hold a very, very special place in my heart. Um, Chance Prophet was really the one that saw the athletic ability. Um, and, was like, hey, you have a really good opportunity to, if you do this right, capitalize on it. And Kincaid, Kincaid's different a little bit, but different's never been bad.
Right.
He would just see me just rolling around with people, and he'd be like, Chase, come here, let's try this. And we would
Mm-hmm.
come up with something on the fly, and it was really cool. Or he would spend time with me after training. I've grown so close to Jason Kincaid that I can heavily equate this, that they've been super influential, not only on me in my career, but definitely stylistically. There's elements of both of them in how I do things.
I definitely see that because you got like this unique style where it's like the new school of wrestling, but you still go back to the old school basics too. No matter how much I pick on you and carry on behind the scenes, I know what you be doing. You know what I'm saying? I pay attention to the Chase Bennett matches, and I see like with every match that you get better. And like at first I'll keep it real with you, bro. At first, I seen a lot of you just really just trying to hurry through it and get to the next thing, but now I see that you're more comfortable in your skin and you're taking your time and you really. I see a lot of Kincaid. I see a lot of Prophet within your move set and the way that you handle yourself in the ring, and you've become such a general in so little time, man. I can't wait to see what happens for you, man. Sky's the limit for Chase Bennett, in my opinion.
Well, I appreciate that. My mindset has always been, even when I was training, we were told, don't be the 50-mile guy, right? Don't be the guy that just goes out and competes and wrestles 50 miles from his house. I never wanted to be just the best in a small pond. I wanted to put myself out there against the best and see where I measured up as a whole. Um, I think in the past year or so, I've made a really good, compelling statement. Not to just say that I was one of the best to come from where I trained, but one of the best in the state. And I'm hoping in the near future that we can look at it and say, you know, he is who he says he is. He's walked the walk. He's talked the talk. He's been on the road. He's been to these places, and he's established himself. And I think I've made a really good case for myself so far with that. Um, but I'm also at the point now where, like, you know, when we first met, I was the young guy. And now I'm in locker rooms and I have young guys asking me questions and, like, hey, what do you think of this or that? Or how do you do this? And I'm starting to realize I'm not that young guy anymore. And I'm like, this is concerning, but it's also fun because I love the sport as a whole. And, you know, when we talk about things stylistically, um, I'm a mix of the modern and a nod to the old, you know. Um,
Right.
it I think it would be short-sighted of me to say that there's only one universal way to do something. Um, and I've never necessarily believed that. I think if it's done right, anything can work. It's just got to make sense.
Right. Definitely. Definitely. Because we've had some moments in certain places where we thought we had great ideas and we thought we had great matches and stuff. And when we got back there, it was like, what the hell did you do that for? That was the worst shit I've ever seen. You know how it you know how it is. So how now, like going forward, when you get presented with not really presented, but when that happens to you, how do you know what I'm saying? Because like you was just saying that you've grown so much so fast and you're one of the vets. I mean, I see you as a vet and I see the guys coming up to you. How does that affect you now when you got, let's say something you're a newer guy on a show or something, or you're around a foreign locker room and you go and do something and you just know you have a great match or some shit like that, and you come back through the back and they're like, that was the worst shit. How do you handle that now?
Um, so I'll take this out of your book and I'll give you credit where credit's due. You are water, right? In the sense of when you're out in front of a live audience, I don't know what it is, but you pretty much absorb what they're into and you roll with it. Um, I have no problem saying this. I've never seen Bobby Yella ever have a bad match with anybody. Um,
Phew.
I it's crazy to say, but you know, I've tagged with you enough and I've seen it enough that I I kind of was like, okay, I see what he's doing here. This makes sense because of this. Um, for me, it's you know, when you're walking into a place or a company that you've never worked in front of, um, watch everything everybody does. See what you know the fans like. See what they don't like, and you know, use that at your own discretion. But you know, no, I guess kind of like know the product. You know, like I've never had an opponent that I've never tried to watch film on. I want to know what they do really well, so I have an idea of what to look for, but also know what they do that's going to complement me and what's in my favor. Because at the end of the day, we're all just trying to win, right?
Right.
Um, and get paid and go home safe. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but that's kind of the way I would kind of do it. Is you know feel the energy in the room, right? If it's an old school crowd, go old school. If they're modern and they like that, do it. You know, it's flavors of ice cream. You know, you might like vanilla, I might like chocolate. It's not necessarily that you know you're wrong for liking vanilla and I like chocolate. It's just a matter of opinion. You know, at the end of the day, I don't have a problem either way. I'm a fan of ice cream.
Hey, bro, I think me and you we've talked about that a lot too in the locker rooms about the confusion about the old school and the new school, and how not everybody likes the new school, and not how some of the new school guys can't stand. We've had this conversation before and stuff, and the like you just said, brother, it's ice cream. Just because you like chocolate and I like strawberry or vanilla or something doesn't mean that it's not the same thing. It's just what makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm with you 100% on that, man. And like I said, bro, like your growth is unreal. You know what I mean? Like I've seen the beginning stage of Chase, and to where you are now? And how long you been wrestling?
Uh, so I started it right at COVID. So probably officially, I want to say 5 years now.
See, I was roughly around towards the beginning, so I seen you go from, because I don't really like to call people green. If you're a grown man and you know what you're doing, you're not green. You just don't really quite, you know what I'm saying? I've
Grasping.
seen the newer stage of Chase, and now I've seen where you've grown, bro. You would have thought you've been doing this shit as long as I have. You know what I mean? If I had the mind state that you have now back then, man, it would have been sky's the limit for me. But I was hard headed as hell.
I think we all are at times, you know. Um, if it comes to like the modern versus old school, like I'm a traditionalist, but I'm also traditionally untraditional in the idea of you can do old school with a new school paint job and it can be fire.
Hey, I like that. I like the way you put that too, man. Because if you watch me, I try to do, and I appreciate what you said about me earlier too, man. But if you don't think I've had bad matches, you ain't seen a lot. Go to my channel. All you got to do is click a video, and I'm pretty sure you'll see a bad match. But I understand what you meant though by how I got chemistry with people and I can fill out. That goes back to knowing your audience and understanding the assignment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's, I think, was one of my good traits, is because I understand the assignment. And guys like you're starting to understand that assignment. And now I'm seeing all these guys like Z and Corey and all of them. They're getting the little opportunities and stuff like that. And I want to know what's up with Chase, man. When we gonna see Chase on these stages with him? You know what I'm saying?
I don't, you know, for the longest time, I questioned if I was ready or maybe even if I was good enough. I took probably the last year and a half and said, I got something to prove to myself. I think I have been in countless matches where you could say up and down the card, Chase Bennett's match was the best match on the card. Um, I don't think it now. I don't question my ability. And in my mind, if you was to just straight up ask me, I don't think it's a matter if, it's just a matter of when. Um, you know, I don't think some of these bigger companies are going to go to X, Y, and Z to see you. They're going to hear your name through the grapevine, and then that's when they're going to start to ask questions of who is this guy, why is he making such a buzz, and that was kind of my thought process was saying, um, you know, I compete, I compete year round. I don't take time off. So with that, I said, if the competition is the measuring stick here, that's the place I need to be because I don't want to be a big fish in a small pond. Uh,
Right.
you know,
Now, if you was to get an opportunity though like that, would you wanna, which, I mean, we all know the dream is the E, but like, which one would you think would fit Chase Bennett the best? You know what I'm saying? Like, which three-letter company?
I think if given the opportunity, um, any company that is willing to take the risk on giving somebody an opportunity, I would say, um, look at my track record. It speaks for itself. Hardest worker in the room. Nobody will deny me that. Most consistent. Um, whatever company it would be, regardless if it was an AEW or a TNA or a New Japan, which historically I've spoke about it. I love Japanese wrestling. I like
Mm-hmm.
modern AEW stuff. I like the studio style TNA. Um, whoever decides to ever give me my chance, I just want them to know that I'm going to do everything to stand and deliver on all fronts and be an asset moving forward. But if you wanted to say stylistically, Chase, which one do you think you'd favor the best in? I want to go to Japan. There's something to be said about that style and how guys are night in, night out, making a name for themselves. don't get me wrong. I would be wrong to say it's not all about the money, but it's the opportunity, right? When you think of,
Mhm.
um, the G1 and all these things and all the great names that have won it and the careers associated with those names, you can't tell me for a decade span that the guys that win those tournaments aren't the absolute best in the world, or at least top five in the world.
Right.
And I think I could easily cement my name into that case of he's one of the best foreigners to come over here and not only survive but thrive in that environment.
I agree with you, man. Like, especially when it comes to being hard working and like putting in the time in the gym and making towns. And I don't see anybody do it harder than a guy like Chase Bennett or Corey Sparks or Jeff Paul. And me and Spooky Lou was talking about this on Roni, and I was talking about you guys, and I was like, if guys like Chase Bennett or Jeff Paul makes it, I feel like the whole state of West Virginia made it. You know what I mean? You might be an Ohio guy, but us Virginians, East and West, we claim Chase Bennett. You know what I mean? Because you get down here with us in Virginia too. So we claim you, bro. You are family too. So I feel like if Chase Bennett or somebody like that takes it to that next level, then we all good in our own way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. um I always tell myself, whatever light you see me in, whether you like me or you dislike me, um I've never been super selfish. I'm here for the betterment of everybody. And like I said, if it makes sense, it makes sense. I would love to make it there one day. I really believe I have all the talent in the world and all the tools in the tool belt to do it. I just got to be seen by the right set of eyes.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I agree 100%. Do you see yourself in the near future getting a passport and trying to pursue an international booking? Or because I know I'm trying to right now in the process of getting my passport. We just
Um,
I just got kids, bro. Folks is broke these days.
yeah, no, I get it 100%. I don't want to let too many cats out of the bag, but um, I did apply for my passport. I was very fortunate. The president of wrestling, Mr. Phil Stampert, he's the guy that knows everything about everybody. Um, he started pointing me in directions, and I have reached out to a couple companies overseas about, hey, look, I'm not asking for no crazy amount of money. I'm not asking you to put me in a 5-star hotel. I'm just asking for an opportunity, and I promise it'll be the best decision you ever made.
And that's awesome, man. Hey, shout out to Phil Stamper. Like when I first started wrestling, I roughly around I was probably about a year in. I got to work with Phil and the AIWF, and man, I just love that guy. He's such a sweet guy, and it sucks because Phil he got hurt really bad, and we didn't really get to do a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? But the times that I got to work with Phil, man, that dude is just so much fun to be around. And the crowd, they love to boo him and holler Howie at him and
Oh,
bald head geek. And he just soaks it up, man. He's such a damn good worker, man. I love Phil Stamper, bro. Shout out to the president of wrestling.
yeah, I gotta give Phil credit where credit's due, man. I met him through IWA East Coast, and I was fortunate to have one opportunity. He was one of the guys that was already vetted. I mean, and just to sit there and have a few minutes and pick his brain, but not also me, seeing how excited he was when everybody was asking him questions, showed me that's how you do it the right way. Um,
Right.
and although he's a really nice guy, he's always posting choking somebody out.
Yes, I was one of the guys. He's one of the first people to ever make me tap. And when he locks you in those holes, bruh, don't think that you know what I'm about to say. Just because we talk and shoot, those shits is a shoot.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I know you got a few of them little tricks up your sleeve yourself. Strong ass. Let's talk about that, man. Let's talk about Chase Bennett and your bodybuilding journey, man.
Uh, I wouldn't call myself a bodybuilder or a body guy per se. Uh, but yeah, I guess given the nature of the beast, you can't.
Well, fitness journey, then, for
Yeah,
better
yeah,
words.
you can't really be a small guy and try to compete with some of the mutants and freaks of the world of professional wrestling. Um, I always lean towards, I have an athletic background, so that was a really good base. But when I started, I was probably like 195 pounds. 195 pounds on, uh, not even 6 foot guy versus a guy that's 6'4", 400 pounds. It don't fare too well for you, at least not by the numbers. So I was like, if I'm going to do this, I got to get bigger. So I just started eating. And the minute I started eating, my strength went through the roof. And I just ran with it. I'm probably fortunate that as much weight as I've put on, so I went from like a buck 95 to 235, 240 at my heaviest, that I've been able to retain a lot of my athletic ability, because I got strong, I got big, and typically, you get a little immobile when you get that big, but I put a bunch of time in the gym and I try to take care of my body to the best of my ability because at the end of the day, in the sport, your body is your business. If you don't take care of it, you ain't gonna have a long career. Look at guys at like Ricky Morton. You tell me Ricky didn't take care of himself? He's still doing it. Um,
Right.
and what feels like I see him every week. So, you know, it shows it's a longevity game, and historically, we know in sports, the longer you're in the game, the more numbers you can run up. That's how you build a legacy.
Damn right, bro. Damn right. You right, bro. And speaking of that, man, taking care of your body and your mental health, that is very important. I cut out, believe it or not, I cut out drinking, Chase. I
That's a big.
haven't had a drop of alcohol since Black Friday. I know it's new, but man, you know me and how I used to get down. It's been that long, bro. I don't smoke cigarettes. I've been working out every day.
I know. I,
Cut
I can
out the drinking.
posting.
Huh?
I can tell by the pictures you've been posting. You've been in the gym a little bit.
Yeah, man. We trying to, like you said, bro, it's all about staying healthy and, having the right frame of mind. Is there anything that you could, because I know you, dog, like we've struggled with mental health. We've struggled with putting junk in our body, like drinking and carrying on with stuff that we ain't got no business doing.
Good
Is
time.
there anything that you want to touch on there, or any advice you want to give people about the importance of taking care of your mental health, especially being a professional wrestler?
Yeah, man. You know, there's gonna be a lot of nights, and you can attest to this, where you're on the road, you're 6, 7, 8 hours away from home. You gotta go, straight there, do your thing for another 2 hours, 8 hours straight home. That's 12 hours. You got to be up the next day to go to work. You have, a wife, family, kids, whatever it may be, girlfriend, uh, girlfriends, side pieces, whatever it is. Um, you you got to take a little bit of time for yourself. Wrestling's always going to be here. Prioritize the things that are important to you outside of wrestling just as much as you prioritize wrestling. Um, for me, I'm a big component of family time. You know, I'm I'm Chase Bennett all the time. Like, what you see is what you get. I'm not a gimmick. I am like Chase Bennett's my government name. Uh, I have two little boys that, I'm fortunate enough get to come to most of my shows and watch. Um, I'll never forget the night I won the PWL heavyweight title. My son sitting there holding the belt and getting a picture with him holding it, and just how he was smiling from, ear to ear. Moments like that are cool. I think wrestling, sometimes even us as, wrestlers, we get kind of over absorbed or over into or over committed, however you want to say it, into what we're doing. And we forget why we do it in the first place. We're here to create moments and memories to fans, because I don't care which way you flip it. At some point, if you're in professional wrestling, there's a really high probability that you started out as a fan.
Right.
Unless you're one of these, ID guys that, were D1 athletes with NIL deals or whatever. You didn't, you started out as a fan. You fell in love with it and you pursued it because you loved it.
Right.
So,
Right, man. It's all about making the memories and stuff like that, man. Like you said about your son. Shout out to Lil Chase. That's my little homie right there. And his brother. But yeah, I love those kids, man. I had the privilege to meet them. And I know that's the most important thing in your world, man. And I'm glad that you do prioritize stuff like that. And you know me, man, my little girls have made more towns than most of these wrestlers out here, bro. My oldest daughter was, I think, 2 days out of the hospital at her first wrestling event. With her little belt, we sewed her a little crochet little belt, and she was there in her little onesie, 2 days out of the hospital. So I know, man. And another memory, like you said, when you won the PWL title, man, is back when I came back to American Pro Wrestler, American Pro Wrestling up there with Joe Brody, and he had me come out to the curtain with my daughters, man, and that was a big moment for me to get to share that. You know, Joe Brody, he old school. He don't do stuff like that, bro. But for him to allow me to do that with my daughters, man, that was a big moment for me. And I know they had a hell of a time having the people cheer for them and stuff. And you can't buy stuff like that. So I get it. You know what I mean?
yeah, absolutely, And I, like me personally, I think us as performers, wrestlers, whatever you want to call us at the end of the day, I call myself a wrestler because that's what I do better than anybody else. Uh, Look for moments to create like that, because you don't know. I always say professional wrestling is blue collar entertainment, right? It's the working man's TV. Um, you have these people that might spend, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars to go to these big, PLE events. Think about the common man who, is just trying to be a good dad, right? Something you can connect with. And they're spending the last little bit of money they have to take, their sons and daughters and family to these shows. And you have an opportunity because, for me, that's what happened to me. I was starstruck when I met the person that trained me. He had on, he had the ambiance. I was like, this dude's cool. And then, you know, to understand the why it's important and making those moments, um, I think we should all look for them because I think it makes the sport better as a whole. I think it makes the product better as a whole. And if you want to grow a company, it just makes sense. If you can win the hearts of kids, there's no reason why you can't win the hearts of millions of others.
That's big facts, bro. And that's deep, man. That's real deep, man. That's real stuff, man. Speaking of growing companies, though, I heard through the grapevine that my main man Chase got something to do with helping Mega Pro Wrestling take off to the next level, man.
Yeah, yeah. I'm very fortunate coming out of COVID. Uh, a lot of companies, unfortunately, they closed down during COVID and their doors never opened. Um, John Cooper has done a phenomenal job at keeping Mega open. It is family entertainment, right? Um, Nonstop action. Always give the people what they want. in that way. I was fortunate enough. He was the first person out of COVID when I reached out. I was like, hey, my name's Chase Bennett. I was trained here. Um, I haven't had but 2 matches in front of a live audience. I'm not asking you to book me, but if you just give me an opportunity, I promise I will stand and deliver. I'll show up early. I'll leave late. Um, and I've been there from, the first show back from COVID. Um, and to have him, say, hey, what this is supposed to look like. You know what the standard is. Can you do it? And for me to step up and, I helped put together the anniversary show, which was historically a very emotional night. A lot of, stuff going on, wondering, for me at least, is this going to work? Is this going to go over? Am I in over my head? Um, and I will say from top to bottom, that card was so much fun and it was so entertaining. And just the interaction between the wrestlers and the fans, to sell out the building to standing room only, was cool. In the entire time that I've ever been with Mega, we've done it on 3 separate occasions. And I think every time we did that on that specific card, everybody stood and delivered, and we sent the fans home happy, but always wanting more, right? And I think that's
Mm-hmm.
why it's been able to grow and be successful as it has. Um, third or Friday, my bad, excuse me. We have the Claim to Fame tournament, the second annual Claim to Fame tournament. Um, I'm in it. That holds a very special spot for me, simply because when I was really trying to make a name for myself, I entered in that tournament. That tournament was full of, television champions, world champions, wrestlers that had been to Canada and Mexico and Puerto Rico and all these things. And you have this young guy that's out here just trying to scratch and claw and make an opportunity for himself. And to be the first time winner, I know what that felt like. I knew how grueling it was. When you want to talk about what it felt like to get hit by a car going 40 miles an hour, and then 3, 4, 5 minutes later, you get up and you got to get hit by it again.
Right.
It it's a test of might. It is very much survival of the fittest. It's a dog eat dog tournament, and to you know represent Mega also as one half of their tag team champions in that tournament. It's an honor, but it's also an opportunity to get eyes on the next generation of, hey, this is what these kids have, because I think young guys are just looking for an opportunity to cut their teeth and make a name for themselves. And I think it's a phenomenal tournament, and I applaud any young man, or if they're brave enough woman to um, pitch their name into the hat to represent themselves in that tournament. I think it's a great opportunity, and I think you need to reach out for it. Um, I can tell you right now, it elevated me, right? Um, I think it really shows that if you want this, you better be prepared to fight and claw, because everybody else wants it just as bad. And you got to prove, hey, it's either going to be you or me. And you best believe it's got to be me.
Definitely, man. Definitely. And I already know how the mega shows, bro. I'm familiar with Cooper's work. You never know who's gonna be at a mega pro wrestling event. It could be just all of us old school guys that go back with Coop, or it could be somebody that you never know. That's just basically the brunt of it. You never know who's gonna be at a mega show. You never know what you're gonna see. I was honored to be a part of the anniversary show, man. I thought me and Colton had a good one. I thought from top to bottom, like you said, the show was really good. I think you and Kevin working backstage is doing y'all's thing, man. Y'all work well together, man. Shout out to Kevin too. Man, I thought, because you know what made it special for me is because I feel like there were people counting y'all out. And the see the look on their faces when it was a successful event, that shit meant everything, bro. I was like, yeah, because I already knew when I seen you running around like a madman, I said, "Oh shit, Chase is going crazy in here, bro." But I seen you calm down, and then you got in your zone, and I was like, "Man, yo, the way that these guys are doing this, that's all right, bro." And shout out to Cooper too for trusting y'all with that position because Cooper's one of the old school guys, man, and he's a man. To me, he's always been honest. He's always had integrity. You know, he's a man that stands on his word and his business, man. And I, I'm glad that he trusted y'all with some stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it and Coop, if you ever see the light of day of this, um, I can't tell you enough from the bottom of my heart just how grateful I am to you. I know how much you've had to sacrifice for your love of pro wrestling. I know you've given your body to it, and powerlifting and your health and things. Um, the state of West Virginia is a better place because Mega has always been the opportunity where if you make your name for yourself and you're from the state of West Virginia, it's almost 100% certain that at some point you walk through Mega Pro Wrestling's doors. Um, I can name over a handful of people, two handfuls of people that have been through Mega's door that have been synonymous with being the best professional wrestlers the state has ever produced. And, you know, bless you for what you've done, and your contribution to professional wrestling as a whole. My first opportunity to go to North Carolina was right after I won the Claim to Fame tournament. I got a Mega Pro title match. Against DeGette Bundles in Mount Airy, North Carolina at the AIWF anniversary show. And, we had a phenomenal match there. So I think that, Mega is a place where uh, competition is revered and, it's where some of the best wrestling goes down. And I'm super honored to be a part of that.
Yeah, definitely, bro. Me too. I'm glad to be, uh, I would say a Mega alumni because I always rock with Mega. You know, I'm not always there when you call, but I'm always on time. You know that. Yeah, I love Mega Pro Wrestling. I love John Cooper, man. Guys like him and guys like I'll because people what I'm about to say and you know it's true. Since I started this little podcast thing, everybody's been waiting for me to get on here and shit on Joe Brody. And I'm never going to do that. You know why? Because just like John Cooper was for you in the state of West Virginia, that's how Joe Brody was for me. Now, he could sit there and MF me all day long. I don't care.
Oh,
He's
I've heard.
probably just in a bad mood. You know he's cranky when he don't get his damn coffee. But I love Joe Brody so much because he was one of the first guys who took me out there and put me out there in front of a real TV camera and put me out there with real veterans and really trust me and teach me shit and like when everybody was like, "Oh, this guy sucks," and nobody wanted to book me, Joe Brody was like, "Man, I see something with this kid," and you know what I mean. I'm glad that we came together on Joe Brody's event, or it wouldn't be no young lions. You know what I'm saying? So, regardless if he's mad at me or not, shout out to Joe Brody for being one of the good ones, one of the last good ones, one of the West Virginia goats, man. John Cooper and Joe Brody, the godfathers of West Virginia wrestling, right there.
You know, I, I'm just going to shoot straight with you. I'm going to be real honest here. And a lot of this, I'm going to blur the lines. I'll let you figure out what's real and what's not. The first time I ever met Joe Brody was at a mega show in, I believe, Crab Orchard. I was wrestling my tag team partner, Corey Sparks. And when I tell you it was nonstop action, we were pinballs. We were trying to destroy each other. After the match, when we were both concussed and bloodied, Joe Brody pulled us to the side and said, I see potential in you guys. You guys have the look. You're athletes. I would love to use you. And I really believe in the vision of APW. I believe in the time-honored tradition. I really do. And for the longest time, I really did believe that. I mean, when you look at APW, I hate saying this because it sounds like it's arrogance, but if you look at top 10 matches of all time, regardless if it's one-on-one or tag team, you see Chase Bennett's name in that list.
You got to. You got to.
Um,
I mean, because think about it. You was there day one,
yeah, yeah.
all the way through.
And even now, I look at it and I look at it as a whole. With you, with Scott Storm as a part of the Storm Chasers, whether it be me and Corey Sparks as the Shooter Society, me and Bobby Yella as the Young Lions. Chase Bennett's name is synonymous with tag team wrestling. I have no problem saying that. I'm not a historian in this way, but most tag team title runs came from teams that Chase Bennett was on. I'm a former television champion. I'm a former PWL champion. I am a current TWA tag team champion. And I've been the NICW World's Heavyweight Champion. Here's my thing. The night I won the PWL Heavyweight title, I can't tell you the amount of emotions that went through me. I can't tell you that there was a company that was willing to give Chase Bennett the opportunity to have the ball in his court and carry it. But let me tell you, for the almost 13 weeks that I was PWL champion, every time my name was called, I showed up and showed out. And the night that I won it, I walked back through the curtains and I see Joe Brody, and surely I was going to get my flowers from that man. And he was going to say, man, Chase, you're one of the best to ever do it. But I didn't get that. You know what I got, Bobby?
What's that?
How long is it going to be until you mess this up too?
Oh,
And fast forward, I guess he doesn't like the current state of professional wrestling. And once again, opinions are like certain body parts. Everybody's got one. And he forms the Mid-Atlantic Aces. And what did he do? He said, you know what? I'm going to keep giving you opportunities for the American heavyweight title. And then he put a stipulation on me saying that if I lost the PWL heavyweight title, a title that is very near and dear to me. And I hear it. And that's set with me. And he sent me to the hospital. He's thrown fire in my face.
I remember that, bro. I thought that was some, like, I thought he really blinded you, bro.
And all of this, and it feels like every week when I am in the Mountain State Sportatorium, I ask this man not to be a coward, not send Lane Cali, don't send Tony Purdue, don't send Chase Hamry or any other of his dogs, because I've already proven I've beaten almost everybody in the Mid-Atlantic Aces. I will run those dogs till their hearts explode. But yet I hear Joe Brody talk about the state of professional wrestling, and I hear him last week mention my name when he's talking to the people. And in my mind, I can't help but sit and think, who are you to tell me about professional wrestling? When you look at the state as a whole, you can't argue it. Chase Bennett is top 5 all time, and there needs to be an argument made, Joe Brody, that I should be number 1. But don't worry, we're not going to talk about that, and I know you're not going to mention it, because the only time you want to mention me is when it's convenient or I'm not around, and then when I come calling, you never answer. So I said
The
it once.
Mid-Atlantic Aces, y'all heard that, man. That seemed like Chase Bennett. He
Oh,
ain't feeling y'all.
2026, I made the decision. I'm going to make a list. That list is real clear. I will go through whatever member of the Mid-Atlantic Aces is, whoever it is, whether it be the machine gun, Lane Cali, the body guy, or if it is the pretty boy, Chase Emery, or if it is the golden child of Joe Brody, Tony Purdue, his hand-picked soldiers. If I got to run all those dogs till their hearts explode, I'm willing to do it if it means I get to get my hands on Joe Brody. Because let me tell you something, Bobby. You know this better than anybody. Most people, they wake up, they start their day the homemade way. The next time I get my hands on Joe Brody, the next day he's going to wake up in a hospital. He tried to take everything that I love, professional wrestling, the sport that I love, and tried to take it from me. I'm not going to let that go to rest. When I get my hands on you, Joe, it's not a wrestling match. It's a fist fight. It's a brawl. I told you, I don't want this watered down Mid Atlantic Aces version of you. I want the guy that used to incite riots, the guy that had to worry about walking to his car and getting stabbed after the show, the guy that was clearing bars out. Where did he go? Because if you can't find him, I don't even know why I'm still hanging around. Because you know what I want, Joe. Just give me what I want. I don't care what stipulation you put around it. If you beat me, I'll leave. I'll do whatever it takes. But give me what I deserve. Since you want to try to take something from me, why don't I try to take something from you? An eye for an eye.
Ooh, that's deep. Hey, but hey, I know you and I know Joe Brody. Don't think that that old devil dog ain't got a few tricks up his sleeve. I don't think that. I mean, with the way that you just said his name like that, and the way that you carried yourself with that one, bro, he might not even worry about the aces. It might just get down to the nitty gritty, down to you and him. He might give you what you ask for, bro.
And you know what? If that was the case, I think he would have done it by now. But let's be honest. I don't think this is the same Joe Brody of old. I think he realizes that.
Hey, but that might make him a little bit more dangerous.
Bobby, I went halfway across the country. No, maybe not halfway, but I went to North Carolina. I defended the PWL heavyweight title that night. The very next day, I went and I said goodbye to my best friend. Fast forward 3 days later when he passed away. Joe Brody said, I'll give you the night off. I still showed up. When you talk about loyalty, right? When you talk about honoring your word, I showed up. Yeah, I was in no means able to compete. Mentally, I was out of it. I don't know anybody that wouldn't be. And then to turn his back on the same thing that he has prefaced, right? Doing it the right way, making this sport what it used to be, right? Wrestling the way you remember it, wrestling the way you deserve it. And to turn your back on the people that bought into that idea for your buddies, who at the end of the day are just there to collect a paycheck, whether he knows it or not. I just want my hands on him. He tried to take everything from me.
So
I've
you think that the Mid Atlantic Aces are just there to collect the paycheck?
well, outside of, the select few, yeah. Yeah.
Dang, bro. It sounds like I missed a lot at the Mountain State Sportatorium, bro. like like
Well, you might want to tune in because
yeah, I want everybody, if you're watching this, tune in every Thursday or go out every Thursday to the Bradley Beckley Prosperity Fire Department. That's a tongue twister, but I got it right. Go check out my favorite superstars, my favorite wrestlers of American Pro Wrestling. Hey, Chase Bennett, bro, you really going guns blazing at these Mid Atlantic Aces, bro. I hope you got some backup.
you know, call it call it maybe short sighted. Um, there's a lot of young talent there that has been taken advantage of, whether it be the Nate Saturns of the world, the Dawson brothers, uh, Anthony Xavier. Um, I think James Frost. I think you can. The list can go on and on. It can be Bobby Yella. It can be Scott Storm. It can be Corey Sparks. Honestly, I'd love to have him, but I understand it's a cancer at this point, and it's killing the thing that I love, the company that I helped build. And you know what? This is what I'm going to go out on because I've always believed if you're going to go out on something, it needs to be your sword and shield, and you're willing to die on that hill. American Pro Wrestling is just that. It is something that I help cultivate. I'm the last pillar standing, and I will fall before I let it fall to what he wants it to be. I
Mm.
I can't let that go. I'm the last guy. I think about the guys that sat there and mentored me, the guys that helped made me who I am today. They all walked through those doors. The only difference between me and them, I'm the last one there. So I
That's
think
facts.
that statement, take the aces out of the equation. Let it be what Joe Brody wants it to be, and let it be what the original vision was. And let's see at the end of the night who comes out standing.
I'm gonna be real with you, man. I think Joe Brody might give you what you ask for. I'm not just saying that because I watched the old tapes of Joe Brody. I was a big fan of his work back in the day. He legit doesn't like me right now, but it's okay. That's fine. I'll always love and have respect for him and in that way. But you're telling me that these Mid Atlantic Aces are doing stuff that I personally don't agree with. And I just remember the guys like Tony Purdue and like that. These guys are legends to me. You know what I'm saying? So I remember them in that light. I didn't know anything about this new behavior, man.
Yeah, I don't know what caused it all. I don't. The only thing I can think of is Joe Brody was the catalyst.
Hey, man, he's a mad scientist, brother. There's a method to his madness. I promise you that.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing with being a dictator. It's all cool until the people revolt. Not to say that's the case here. I don't know if I can help fix the problem, but I can definitely be a part of the solution. And I think he has exceeded his position of power and bent things to his will. And quite frankly, I'm not going to stand for it anymore. Right? There's a difference between going out and competing and losing and knowing you give it all you had and admitting on that night your opponent was the better athlete, was more prepared, more skilled, whatever it may be. But when you have somebody stacking the deck in favor of his guys, I can't let that slide.
I feel that. I feel that. That's crazy, man. Like you've pretty much held every championship at American Pro Wrestling. Um, maybe every championship. Think about it, Chase Bennett. You're a Grand Slam champion.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know, man. You've held the tag team titles at least 3 times.
it's definitely more than that.
Yeah, definitely. But I know at the very least, at least three.
Uh,
Like,
there is one title that I have yet to win,
what's
and
that?
that's the unified title. And
The unified title. And Tony Purdue is this champion, right?
yeah, yeah, and I think as long as Joe's in power, he's going to hold it for as long as Joe lets him. I didn't say that. Uh, I don't think that would ever happen. Um, but
Well, there's a board of directors at America Pro Wrestling. Like you can file um grievances against Joe Brody, and the board of directors will take care of it. Because I had my problems with the Cuban Assassin when I was running with the Cuban Assassin and the Mega Destroyer, and when they try to take Tony Ray out, they jumped me, and I went to them. You know what I mean? Joe Brody was the general manager, I think, at the time. Maybe now he's I think the COO, but you could still petition and they will do something about it. You know that, right?
if I do you think what if I went to NICW over it?
The Rudder Commission. Oh man, Joe Brody's a big fan of the Rudder Commission. I think it might help, but I would go to all the powers of American Pro Wrestling because Joe Brody has buddies there that there's a good chance that he'll listen to those guys before he would the guys at NICW, and that's supposed to be the big sanction. But you know him; he ain't gonna follow the rules. So you might want to go to the powers that be at American Pro. That's just a guy, alumni. I've been there. I'm another Grand Slam champion. You know what I mean? I was there when it was called USACW. You know, so I've been around that board of directors for a long time, and I know even back when Joe Brody was the general manager, just the acting general manager, and he would do stuff that they didn't like, they would fix it. So
You know what? I know this is gonna sound crazy, and trust me, now I'm thinking about it, it does sound crazy as hell. But I think you're onto something.
I'm telling you, man.
I might have to make a few phone calls.
Definitely, definitely. Now we got some questions. Chase Bennett, we got some questions from some people. We all want to know who is Chase Bennett's all-time, all-time favorite wrestler.
All right, I can't say I can't. The guy that would fill that spot, I can't say because he's not a great human being, but was a phenomenal pro wrestler. Okay, I'll say it. I'll go Chris Benoit, Brian Danielson.
Right, and for me in that circumstance, I feel like Danielson replaced what Benoit left for me, and
Yeah,
I appreciated that from Danielson because that was a big void.
for
You
sure.
know, rest in peace, the woman and the Benoit family. You know, but all right, moving on. Within the next 5 years, where do you see Chase Bennett?
In the next 5 years, um, nothing's for certain, but uh, I would love to have had a career that I can look back at, and when I hang it up, whenever that may be, God, I wish I could do this forever, but we all know that's really hard to do. I'd like to have a career that I can say, every goal I set out for myself, I accomplished. Um, I left pro wrestling in a better state than I found it, and hopefully, the people that come after me can see some of the shortcomings I had and learn from my mistakes so they don't have to make those same mistakes themselves.
That's deep. That's deep. Now, this is a question for me. Because I got to get one in there. Do you see uh hell, whatever. I'm just gonna be selfish and ask you. Do you see the Young Lions teaming up one more time, one more title run?
One more time, one more title run. I mean, I don't see why not. You ain't done yet, are you?
Never, bro. I'm gonna be rolling my ass out there on a wheelchair, bugging somebody at the commentary table. Believe that.
Yeah, we got one more run in us, Bobby, for sure.
Definitely. Definitely, definitely, definitely. Now I got one more question. Last but not least, you
Is it
know how I be.
is it from Kaylee?
No, I don't think she gave me a question yet, but I'm sure she will when we have you back on here. I'm sure she'll have many, many questions for you. Shout out to Kaylee. That's Chase Bennett, #1 fan right there. Hey, I ain't gonna lie though. I heard she liked TJ Walker too. Nah, she don't like no TJ Walker.
TJ Walker don't like TJ Walker.
Oh man, that dude crazy, man. That dude is crazy. Out of all the matches that Chase Bennett has had, and out of everybody that Chase Bennett has been in the ring with, it's a pretty much a two-part question. Who is the biggest name you've ever been in the ring with, and was it your best match? And if not, what was your best match?
Um, Man, that's tough because I don't want to put one over the other because I think they're all three phenomenal opponents, and great wrestlers. So I'll give you three answers, but none of them were my best match. Jason Kincaid, Kerry Morton, Dalton McKenzie.
Mm.
Um, they wasn't probably my best match. Um, probably um, for best match, I'll go another three. Um, I'll go Bobby Yella.
Oh man, for real?
With me and against me. It it was fun. It was a blast, and there are matches that, for whatever reason, whether they were good or great, I'll never forget them. I learned more from you than you will ever know. Second, my tag team partner, Corey Sparks. Um, when you have that many battles against each other, uh, you're no longer enemies. You no longer hate each other. You 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 kind of form a great bond and a profound respect for one another. Corey, I you're the same. I think you're in a little bit higher category than me. It's not a matter of if; it's just a matter of when. I think you have all the tools in the tool belt minus personality, but don't worry, that's me.
Corey, mad cool, man. What do you mean, bro? Have you been seeing his promos lately, bro? He cranking them joints.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I usually I'm there with him, and I'm sitting there. If he gets all excited, he likes to stumble on his words, and I'm like, got him. Where he's up there, and I hate to give credit where credit's due. Uh, Evan Golden.
Definitely, bro. I was just talking to one of his best homies on the last episode. Shout out to Michion. Yeah, Evan Golden, like him and August Artois and George South are the king of the independent wrestlers, I think.
Yeah, is it? Who knows, man? When it's all said and done, he could be the George South of my generation.
Man, that's what I'm trying to be.
Yeah, you're right. He's probably the generation after us. We getting up there.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. Well, I'm at the part of the show now where you get the plug where you're gonna be, the upcoming events. Where can we see Chase Bennett coming up? Let us know.
Well, I don't have my entire bookings book in front of me, but I can tell you you're going to catch me at tomorrow night at the Bradley Prosperity Fire Department, aka the Mountain State Sportatorium, aka the house Chase Bennett built. And then Friday, you're going to see me in Marmet, West Virginia, Mega Pro Wrestling, the Claim to Fame tournament. You're going to see me this year, SCW, Southern Championship Wrestling in Ohio. You're going to see me at KCW, Kentucky Championship Wrestling. You're going to see me at the, what's it called? The AIWF Anniversary Show. You're going to see me at NICW events. Uh, let's see, Pro Wrestling King in Indiana. TWA in New Haven. MVW, Nitro, West Virginia. RSW in Ohio, and then Harrison County. So Chase Bennett. This is the year I'm going to show up everywhere and anywhere I can. So just be prepared. If you would, uh, don't forget, like Bobby's stuff, leave a comment, share it to a friend. Uh, you can follow me on basically every platform uh, at the_Chase_Bennett. Bobby, you got anything else for the people?
Hey, this is your time, man. You give big shout outs to whoever you want to. Um, Go right on ahead. It's your last chance. Give the big shout outs to whoever you want to.
All right. It'd be hard. I want to give a shout out to my family who have supported me this entire time. Even before I started making money doing this, they had my back. my two boys, who I absolutely love, and to anybody that was ever willing to invest and buy a ticket to any show that I was on, to anybody that ever supported me, whether you liked me or hated me. I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. I could not do this if it wasn't for you guys, the fans. You make wrestling what it is. You make wrestling special. Without you guys, none of us would be able to do this. So thank you from the bottom of my heart.
That's big facts, man. That was beautiful. Chase, man, I'm out of time. I just want to say thank you for a great banger of an episode. You know how the young lions do, brother. We light them up every single time, man. I want you to stay with me on the line. I'm gonna holler at you in just a second, but I want to tell all my homies out there that tuned into this one, remember to do your three things, baby. You know what it is. Chase Bennett knows what it is. The world knows what it is. Remember to wild on them, style on them, and shake the room, baby. We will see you next time for another episode of Talk and Shoot with Yellow Man.
Man,
oh yeah.
This internet thing is so boring. There's nothing to do. There's nothing to look at, nothing interesting, no good content.
Hey, are you nuts?
Whoa.
Huh?
Oh.
Hey, what's up, Big M?
Hey, Boogie.
Hey, man, check out, listen, Jimmy Valiant dot Weebly.com.
Wow, that's two dots.
2 dots.
Wow.
Weebly, Weebly. Is that right?
Yeah.
Jimmy Valiant, one word, dot Weebly.com.
Boogie, this is amazing. This is exactly what I was looking for. www.jimmyvaliant.weebly.com. And search for the comic strip. That's my favorite part. I love the internet now.
Oh, yeah.
My lovely wife, Miss Angel Valiant, AWW, Angels Wrestling Wear. She did this whole outfit on me. My goodness, she could do anything. Masks, bandanas, hey, you name it, tights, trunks, robes. Captain Joe, come here, Cap.
Made this whole outfit to me. You know, look at that, look at that. Look at that, man. Look at
Captain
that.
Joe, baby. Hey, she can do anything. Hey, give her a call.
For all your pro wrestling gear needs, visit angelswrestlingwear.weebly.com. If you can dream it, Angel can make it.
Be there, and she'll do you well. Yeah.
From Asheville, North Carolina, Evan Golden.
Sir, you announced that one.
Thank you.
That's Evan Golden Girl.
No, it's not.
It's Evan Golden Girl. Announce it right. It's Evan Golden Girl.
All right, you gotta do it right.
Evan Golden Girl.
That would be Evan Golden Girl, according to security. And his opponent to my left, in the red, white, and black, from St. Albans, West Virginia, weighing 205 pounds, Chase Bennett! Come on!
It's actually Chase Bennett, girl. You shut up, leave it alone. What are you gonna do about it? The only thing you're gonna raise your hand is
Is he ready? What are you going to cheer for?
Come on, Goldie.
Give me 1 second. Check him. Shut up.
Now check him for hosting Tommy Package.
Check him.
I got him.
Shut up.
I left.
These people are stupid, is what they are. Shut your stupid mouth! That's how it's done! No! Come on, Evan, get the ring! Come on! There's no time to go. Two! Evan, come on, chicken! These people do not know town. They don't know town. Break it off. Did you see that? He just pulled my hair. He just pulled my hair.
You're lying!
No. Whatever. No. He says no. No. He says no.
I already said that.
What about y'all? Did y'all see me do anything wrong? Why don't you cheer for him now? That's right, he's stupid, just like the rest of all these people. My GEDs! No! Somebody's got I'm not doing nothing. I'm not going to tell you.
I can't wait to find that girl beat you. How about Barbie beat you?
Over now. 1, 2. That was 3. You know it. That was 2. That was 3. That was 2.
You want to quit? He says no.
He's not going nowhere. I hate Christmas. I could do this all day long.
Now, Evan, get him out of the ropes.
I'm not doing nothing.
Evan, get him out of the ropes. Evan, release the hold. You can't keep him in the ropes like that.
That's how it's done. I can do this all day. 1, 2. No Christmas candy for him. What are you doing?
10 minutes out. Stand by.
Count again, count again. 1, 2. I'll just go up there.